Good day, podcast community. Pete Kane here, Podcast Pete and certified high performance coach. Okay, this is our virtual event that leads to our live event. And we do a live event once a month where we teach our community to be good at pitching from a platform. Why is that so important? It's important because as an entrepreneur, and everybody's an entrepreneur, whether you work for a company or whether you have your own business, you have to think like one. You have to have the mindset of one. And when you understand influence, you have to work to get influence. It's not something you're just born with. It's a skill. How to win friends and influence people. The key to that is letting people know what kind of person you are. And if you want to help people go on a journey with you, you've got to be able to put content online. To be a key person of influence online requires intention, requires strategy. And what we do is teach our people to have healthy businesses, because a healthy business can make a major impact. Our people have the heart to serve, but you have to serve with your wallet, because if people want you to support them and you don't have the resources to do it, well, you've missed an opportunity. So we always talk about in our events, leads change lives. Leads change lives, because generating leads, creating cash flow, and building thriving communities is critical for you making a major impact in your world, both locally and globally. And you have to act locally, but think globally, because the world changed. It's already changed. It's already global. But if you continue to go down the path of not realizing that people are going to search you if they're interested in you, and when they're interested in you, give them the content to go on a journey with you. That's why we do live events, so you can get good at talking from a platform. The number 2 biggest fear to dying is public speaking. So you learn to public speak, you gain influence. You write a book, you gain influence, authority. We're going to have people that write books. Charity's going to be on. I've written a couple books. My partner, Jeff Bourgeois, has written hundreds of books because he has the power of the written word. He understands the value of giving people reasons to go on a journey. And that's what it's all about. We're just doing this, we're doing this to help practice for doing 5 minutes, 3 points. 5 minutes, 3 points. That's what we talk about. 5 minutes, 3 points. So let's get started. Okay, the 4 human drivers. This is scientific. This is from Brendan Bouchard, my mentor, one of my 2 main mentors. I have lots of them. We all want to encourage you to have mentors, learn, grow, and always push the uncomfortableness of growth. It's okay to be comfortable when you're watching a movie, eating some popcorn. But if you're not growing and challenging yourself to get out of that comfort zone, you won't get the growth that's possible. And it is possible. The 4 human drivers. This is my 4 human drivers. Aliveness. First, what do I do in the morning? I drink my water. This is a cup. So I drink about 20 ounces right away to hydrate the body. Then I think. Then I journal. Then I activate Growth Day, where Brendan's talking to me. and a couple 100,000 people. He's leveraging his time. He's educating. He's coaching. He's providing us with frameworks. Then there's always another related video and 2 thought-provoking questions. Then my daily plan. So after I journal, and I do every single day, the power of the pen to paper gives me clarity. So when I get that clarity, then I implement the plan for the day. Then I go out and I practice 3 days in one, 3 5-hour days in one. That gives me faster in my ability to make an impact. So when I do that aliveness, my favorite time of the week is Monday morning at 5:00. Most, I think it's 80+%, dread Monday morning. But mine is different. That's when I get with my team, Rolando and Trexa. And we talk about the week ahead. We plan our week ahead. We prioritize our week ahead. And it's been since Thursday since I've talked with Trexa. So Slack gives us the ability to put some things in play because they're 12 hours ahead. Monday night is where they're coming from. It's Monday morning for me. So she's worked on the things from Thursday or Friday. That provides us with that aliveness that's possible. The next one is connection. Every single day, I am calling people, having meaningful conversations with people. We get disconnected from people because of technology, social media. We think commenting, liking, and sharing is social. No, it's media. And if you consume, like most people do, 4 hours of TV, consuming it, up to 2 hours of social media, consuming it, then aliveness starts to go down. And that's why we see our current climate of people that have consumed too much and they haven't created their life. The magic is in you and anything's possible. But that's creating your life. So those calls are meaningful. I have conversations. What are you doing? How can I help you? What are you working on that's exciting? So I have these conversations to further my connection. Next is meaningful pursuit. Meaningful pursuit is, what is that vision? I mean, it used to be that I would set my goals first of the year and wouldn't look at them till the next year. How do you stay on track? What's your North Star like if you don't look at them? I look at them every single day. I look at my month. I look at my goals on my whiteboard. I look at what I'm looking to do. I got to be reminded of it or you're going to forget it. I journal about it. So I know where I'm going. That brings excitement, aliveness. It's built into us. When you have that pursuit that's bigger than you, it's something inside of you just ignites. And last is growth. Growth is personal growth. That's why I do that's why I do Growth Day. That's why I read. That's why I listen to podcasts, videos of my mentors. I do it intentionally. I just don't listen randomly. Intentionally, I have people that I want to learn from. So my personal growth is more focused than most. Okay, let's see. That's my 5. Let me see if anybody is on. Not yet. Okay. All right, let's go on to, hold on here. I'm going to go back so I don't want you to have to. Okay, the next is the 5 high performance habits. Let me make this a little bigger. Yes, a little bigger. Okay. The 5 high performance habits. Brendon Burchard's book, High Performance Habits, is the book. I mean, if you're going to focus on habits, why don't you scientifically focus on these four: clarity, energy, courage, productivity, and influence. Clarity, energy, courage, productivity, and influence. These are the five. You lean into those, you learn these, and you build a solid foundation for your life. Clarity. If you don't have clarity, any distraction will get you off. And here we have somebody on. I have a feeling I know who it is. Yes, technology challenges doesn't slow her down. I'm going to cut short my presentation so we can get to a busy author who's making an impact. Hold on, let me get you on here. I'm talking about you and nobody knows you. Hold on. Let me get this off. Hold on here. I'll get this off. Okay, here we go. Wait. Okay, remove, add. Okay, here we go. Okay. Charity is in the house. Oh, it's such a good. I'll do a proper introduction for you, but thank you for being here. She has a busy schedule. I've known Charity for about a year and a half through our Rotary Club, and I had a chance to have her on my podcast. So I understand a little bit more about. Oops, there's a little bit of background noise.
For me,
Yeah.
let me do this.
Let me see if
Is that
anybody
better?
else.
Is that better? Is that better?
A little bit, but there's something else in there. I'm trying to think what it is. Is there anything going on in your background of your computer?
Well, I'm on my phone.
Okay.
So
Why don't you? Because I hear something. Here's I've got George on too. Why don't you look and see, and we'll come back because if you're going to do the 5 minutes, it's going to be distracting because people are going to hear it. Why don't
okay,
you do that, and then I'll come back to you. Just give me like a thumbs up. I can see you in the green room. I'm going to bring
okay,
George on, let him do his five because he's a man that's on the move. It's
okay.
like it's a background of
Music.
something's going on. It's yeah. Maybe turn your phone off and then restart it. There's got to be a program running in the background there.
Okay, I'll take a look at it.
Okay. All right.
All
I'll
right.
come back to you. Thanks, Charity. George is in the house, man.
Good morning, Pete.
Good morning to you. Let me give a proper introduction while I find your slide. Would you like to do team building?
Um, that's fine. I feel totally unprepared.
Yes, I know. And I'll tell our people we didn't even have a conversation. It's like, but I want you just to go off of gut because
Yeah,
I've seen you at work. I've seen you navigating with your team,
it's
communicating with
natural.
them, or it is natural. It's totally natural. So, but let me put something, let me see. I think, all right, if you wouldn't mind, all right, I'm going to make this a little bit smaller. Oh, no, I didn't do that right. Hold on. This is natural too. This is naturally a mess.
A
Okay.
mess.
All right.
It's life.
Here.
Life is a mess.
Okay. You know, uh, I would love for you because trust is gained in your world in minutes. Because when tragedy happens and you're responding, people don't know you sometimes from Adam unless they've been referred to you. So it's somebody else's trust. But you've been able to build trust with women over 60 because a lot of times when tragedy happens in a home, the wife or the spouse handles all the mess. I mean, they're just there. It's their home, their castle. So maybe the husband will say, "All right, honey, you take care of it. I got to go to work, or I got to go do something." So they're thrown into the lion's den, and all of a sudden they're having to deal with you and figure out, do they trust you? Do they have confidence that you can take care of this emergency? And that happens in minutes, or at least 5, 10 minutes.
Yeah.
If you wouldn't mind, I'm going to drop off, but just talk about those three things: building trust and confidence, empathy matters, and active listening. And if you could share with our community that, we would greatly benefit from it. So I'm going to drop off. George, I will introduce you. I know George for probably 10 years, maybe 8 years or something like that. I didn't know him as well as I've known him in the last 6, because I've had him on the podcast numerous times. I've seen him at work. I've seen his team at work. We've had a water situation. So I know how he deals with everything, and he's masterful at it. It gives you such confidence because you know you're in good hands when he is in charge of your emergency or your project. And so, George, I'm going to drop out, and please share with our community, how did this come about? You weren't born this way, you developed it. So thanks, George. I'll drop off.
Yeah, Pete. So, building trust and confidence. Well, building trust and confidence starts with, one is experience and knowledge, expertise of your craft, of your job, your whatever you're doing. I'm well practiced. We've done thousands of projects, and you get to understand the process of working with insurance, working with damage, working with people. You've got to take time. You have to listen to people. You have to listen to what their concerns are. What's the most important thing about their house? Some people have a heirloom, or they have a pet, or they have something they want done very specifically, and they don't want you to give them whatever you want to give them. They want you to listen to what they're asking for. Let them know that you care about them, that you care about their property as if it's your own, if it's grandma's house. Come in there with take your shoes off. Don't set tools on top of their counters or on top of their antique furniture that was passed down for generations. Ask questions. Where did that come from? Why is that important to you? It's a beautiful piece. Tell your team, hey, you need to protect this. This is important to them. So it's very important, and especially with older women, they want to be respected. They want you to sit, look at them in the eyes, listen to them, respond to them. Don't talk over them. Don't dominate the conversation. Just answer questions, answer their concerns, and give them strength and confidence that you're going to make this happen, that you're going to protect them, you're going to protect their property, you're going to work hard for them, you're going to be available when they want to call you or text you or email you, however they communicate. Typically, older women want to talk on the phone. They want to go over things. They want to listen. They want to hear. They want to feel that strength in your voice, that you're going to answer their questions, that nothing's going to go wrong, that they're going to have their house back the way they want it. So I appreciate it, Pete. That's my connected with women over 60.
Whoa, I love it. I love it. It's a very difficult group of people to deal with, because a lot of times you go into the auto mechanic and they see like a woman that doesn't necessarily know, and there's exceptions to everything, what's under the hood. So they get taken advantage of. And I think it's so in the back of their mind is, can I trust George? Can I trust this very delicate process of putting the home back together? Can I trust him to give him the keys to the house and be able to do it? And I think that's a skill, just like you said, competence. You listen, you have such confidence in your ability to be able to deliver for that homeowner and get that house back in order. And I've seen you in action, so I can speak from experience, and I really appreciate it, because I've never seen anybody as busy as you.
It's amazing.
Like, this man is on the move, and he is on the move. Nothing. What do they say? there's no grass growing under your feet. So thanks. And I just want to encourage our people, if they have something that goes wrong in the house and they need a trusted, reliable source to put that house back together that's going to take care of them, share George, share his information, let people know about him, because the worst thing is finding somebody that doesn't have your interest, is not competent to do the job, and can make a mess of a mess, which
Right.
is worse than a mess.
Yeah, that's
So
right.
thank you, George. Appreciate you taking time to be with our community this morning.
Thank you, Pete.
All right. Let me see what here. Okay. Charity is back. Okay.
Is this better?
No.
I
Okay.
was having trouble with my earbuds, so I may have to
Okay.
just do it another time with different earbuds.
Do this. Do it anyway. We just to do it. And life is not perfection, it's progress. And so I would rather you, because I want to introduce you to our community. It's a tiny bit better, but there's like it's like another room in next door that you can hear just a little bit of people, but so it's not bad. So why don't you do this? And I'm going to introduce you. Charity, most people think of writing a book, but few do it. It takes intention, it takes discipline, it takes a vision of how you want the book to turn out. And when we talked and I found out you had done that process, I immediately knew you were going to make an impact in your world. And I was just excited to be able to come and be involved in your journey at just the time that you're getting out there to share with people your book and what you're going to be sharing with your community. So thank you for taking the time. We didn't hardly even talk about this. It was like I threw Charity to the lion's den. I said, Charity, just do it. So there's no advanced knowledge of anything. So it's even remarkable that people will step up even though it's not perfect. So thank you for doing this. And I'm going to drop out and I'm going to let you talk to our community. I love the 5 minutes and 3 points. And I love the idea that you're an author, and we're going to let the world know about your book and your vision for what you want to share.
Well, thank you. So on the outside, we all look like we're free. We're raising our families. We're making friendships, and we are posting pictures of ourselves looking happy. But in the reality is some of us are living inside of a prison, and not a prison that's made of concrete or of steel bars, but a one made of trauma that may have come from a harsh word that was given in anger, in silence, in neglect, in a bully, and in abuse. And how do I know that? Because I lived it. As a child, I learned that safety came at a cost. If I was silent, I would avoid the belt. If I did what I was told and I did it really well, then maybe I would be loved, but for sure I wouldn't be hurt. And these strategies I brought into my childhood as stories. And these stories followed me into my marriages, into my friendships, and even into my job. I was the strong one. I was the workaholic, the achiever. I didn't need help from anybody. And on the outside, this looked like success. But on the inside, I was exhausted. I felt invisible. And I was just waiting for that next shoe to drop. So these strategies that I brought as a child to create safety, as an adult, they became a prison. What's worse is most of us don't know that we're in a prison. We are self-pleasers. We are overachievers. We're perfectionists. We avoid conflict. But these strategies were there to keep us safe and to protect us. And the worst thing is we don't even know we're there. And those strategies, instead of really helping us, they keep us locked into this prison of our past. And it wasn't until I attended the Landmark Forum that I discovered my bars. In that weekend, I discovered that I was looking through this view, and I was living through these stories that I created from my past, and they had followed me into my future, into my marriages, into my work, and even into my friendships. And maybe for you, it has done the same. Maybe you are searching for peace, but all you find is this sense of never being enough. Well, that's what happens when we are trying to survive and we're trying to stay safe and protect ourselves. It keeps us stuck in this prison. And healing begins when we see the bars. So what's really interesting is this prison that I was living in, that I was locked inside, I actually had the key all along. And so do you. But that key does not come from being getting approval from others. It doesn't come from working harder or being enough. It comes from discovering that you can rewrite your story. It doesn't mean that you work harder. You are forgiving yourself. You have self-compassion. And you're dropping the stories from the past. You're no longer taking your childhood memories and making them your future. And that's what my story in my book, The Key, is all about. The key is about the prison that you escape. And it's not just about my story. It's about you discovering your bars, rewriting your story, reclaiming your voice, and moving into a life that's thriving, not just surviving. Because you can have new possibilities, ones that aren't about survival, but are about dropping the bars of your past, those strategies that used to keep you safe, and living a life that is actually thriving. So I'll leave you with this question. What would your life look like if you used your key?
Dang, that was better than I didn't know about your journey, Charity, until, let me put this a little bit. I saw myself in what you just shared. It took a stroke and 49 days to find my key. And so I think whether it was depression, suicide, drugs, I went through it all. And it wasn't until I had to sit there and ponder for 49 days to change. So I even though our journeys are different in that, but we all have a journey to go on. And if we stay behind those bars and can't find our key, we're in prison the rest of our life. And I can't wait to buy your book. I can't wait to have a copy of it to find out more about that journey, because I think there's so many people that are going to be able to relate to the bars that we put on ourselves.
Yep, absolutely.
The prison that we're in and finding the key. So thank you so much for inspiring us and challenging us to find that key. All right. And I do know what it is. Are you in a coffee shop?
I am.
Okay, that's what it is. I couldn't tell. But as I was listening to it, I'm hearing dishes and I'm going, I know where she is. Oh, that's so good. Oh, that's so good. Thank you. thank you for being with us, Charity. And I
Yep.
appreciate you sharing the book
Thanks, Pete.
and what people can do in the community to find that key in your book. I appreciate you.
Awesome. Thank you, Pete.
Okay. Have a
All
wonderful
right.
day.
All right. Bye.
All right. George is back. Oh, man. Dang. I wouldn't want to follow that, George. So, but hey, we always have to follow. Let me get while you're right here, because I don't see Jay on yet. So I told him 8:40. So let's do that one other. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna find that other slide which talks about a skill set. And I'll oops, I think I dang. Oh, I'm telling you what. Okay, I'm almost there. I know I'll find it because we had. Okay, that's the women. Okay, here it is. Okay, I'm pretty sure. Yes. Okay. All right. Hold on. Critical thinking, problem solving, and meaningful relationships. If I had to think of three things that make up who you are, these three come to my mind. So I'd love for you to talk about, because the future is bright if we think, problem solving, and have meaningful relationships. So I'm going to drop off and I'm going to give you the platform because I want you to really share with our community. Oops. Oh, I didn't do it right. Oh, okay. George, can you hear me? You're muted. Can you check your mute button? I don't have my mute.
I got it. Yeah.
There we go. There we go. Okay.
Actually, Stu called me while I was talking to you, and he called me about your policy. We'll talk about that later.
Okay. All right. Let me get you back on. Let me get myself.
I was on a roll there, Pete.
I know. I was seeing your mouth moving. I'm going, man, I got it. And I was looking for my mute. I was looking for my mute button, but my granddaughter was playing with it. And so I think she moved it. Okay. Hold on. There we go. Okay. All right.
How you doing? George Nesgoda with Water Medics. We do emergency service throughout the metro Atlanta area. And we do water damage, mold, asbestos cleanup, contents cleaning, pack out, repairs. Unfortunately, people call us what I call a forced remodel. They've had a situation at their house. They've had an incident. Now they have to decide what they want to do with their wood floors or paint their walls the same color, different color. Cabinets get damaged. Bathroom gets destroyed. And they're forced into having to stop everything they're doing and making decisions. So part of being in this industry, you have to help people along with that. You know, they didn't plan on these incidents, but now they have to deal with it. So you have to see the future. You have to tell them what things look like. You have to put them with proper people and teams to make sure all these things happen quickly. And so you have to, you know, listen to them, sit down, take information down, you know, plan with them, you know, paint them a picture of what their life is going to look like for the next, you know, 1, 2, 3, 6 months, a year. You know, it's very unfortunate, but you know, somebody has to do it, and you have to really care about it. And one thing is, I have relationships in place with different adjusters and painters and different contractors, vendors. So when someone comes to me, I have a team of people I trust, people that I spend time with, that I know, that I can share with my clients, and give them the same experience I would be expecting in my own home. So so again, critical thinking. I have to be fast. I have to be able to understand people's situation, paint a picture of what their life looks like, what we need to do to get them, back to whole, back to normal, back to living, like it never happened. So again, Pete, I appreciate this opportunity to share our company with and share myself with the people of Atlanta.
Awesome. Thank you. Hold on. I'm going to put this there. Here we go. Thank you, George. I don't encourage our community to reach out to George. And if you want to know more about how to set up an appointment, go to pkane.me/GN. You don't have to spell his last name. You just have to put GN and you can go right to it. Hey, I'm telling you what, when something happens in your house like it did in ours, you want somebody you can trust that'll get the job done, figure it out, and bring in the relationships that'll help you do it. And George hits on all three because he has that skill set and took thousands and thousands of jobs to do it, plus being raised by his sisters to give him that compassion and active listening skill. That's
Right.
so important. And I was telling somebody the other day, I said, I don't know how the conversation came up. I said, George has never met a stranger. He's never met a stranger. So if you want somebody that you can have a meaningful conversation with that'll absolutely listen and connect you with the right people, George is the man. And I know who it was. It was the dryer person, Andrew. And
Oh,
it was like when I was telling Andrew that, he was going like, really? I mean, he knew you, but he was like thinking that he's just doing what he normally does. He
yeah.
delivers value. And I was talking to him about a podcast, and he was going, I don't want, it's not me. And I said, look, Andrew, he says, I don't have a person. I'm not a person with words. I said, you are who you are. You are a person that people trust, that want to call. And George could have recommended 7, 10 people, but he
Yep.
recommended you.
Yep.
And that's a person who's done thousands of jobs, knows that when you put that person in my life, he's going to deliver.
That's right.
Because you have had experience with them and you know the value of your reputation, which you
That's
take
right.
seriously. So thank you so much. I know you got a busy a busy day ahead.
I got one foot out the door right now, Pete. I'm getting ready to go running.
Okay. Thanks, George. Appreciate you being with us. All righty. Let me see if I can see if Jay is in the house. Nope, I don't see Jay in the house. So we're gonna be in the oops. Let me hold on here. Okay, let me get this off. Let me hold on here, Nelly. Let me get this off and put this on. And there we go. Okay, we were in the middle when we were having some sound issues with one of our speakers. This is simply a preview of what we do at a live event at Grace Church. So when you look at being a speaker and listening to 5 minutes, 3 points, you can be involved in this. If you just go to, let me put this up on the screen because a lot of our people saying, hey, how can I get involved? Okay, well, you can. And let me see here. Yes, go to pk.me/live. And that way you'll see some of the speakers that have spoken at our event. It's usually the fourth Saturday. Our next one is October 11th. So it's coming up shorter. We have a fall festival going on. So the church needed the facility. So we had to move around. But I want you to think, go to pk.me/live and you'll see speakers like George and others who are communicating their vision, their business, because a healthy business will be healthy impact. If you don't have a healthy business, How can you impact the lives in you that you want to support, the people that you want to support? So you got to have a healthy business. And we always talk about the ability, and I think I can put it up here, that if you do not have leads, you're not going to change lives. Because people call George because he's done thousands of jobs. He's done thousands of situations where he's performed for people. He's delivered for people. And when you have that, when somebody gets in a situation, they think of you. They think of George. And that's the kind of person you want to be. But you also have to continually, in this digital age, because as soon as I meet a person, if I'm interested in them, I'm going to search them. And if I don't see anything about you, I'm not going to continue the journey. So you have to be able to take what you do in your physical world and you got to put it online. That's why we are so, we want people to understand the world changed. It's all digital now. I mean, it's a combination of digital and physical. But you have to have a presence online that matches your physical presence. That's why we want our community to create content so people can go on a journey with you. All right, I'm going to go back up here. High performance habits. Okay. So clarity, energy, courage, productivity, and influence. Those are the 5. That's the foundation to what you're needing in your life. Because if you don't build a solid foundation, you can't put your stories on top of that skyscraper. You want to go to Mars? Build your foundation. Clarity. What do we mean by that? If you're clear about where you're going, distractions don't take you off course. There's plenty of distractions out there today. Plenty. Whether it's TikTok, whether it's social media, whether it's your TV, whether it's just general things, whether it's emails. Those are distractions because emails are other people's priorities. So if the first thing you do is check your email without planning your day, you're going to jump into somebody else's priorities. So being clear about where you want to go and looking at it, I look at mine every day. If I didn't, my ADD and my dyslexia, I'd be off doing something that wouldn't serve where I want to go. So I'm clear. I get up, I drink my water, I think, I use Growth Day for my 5 to Thrive. So I'm putting together my calendar. I start journaling so I can journal what I learned the previous day and I can journal what my day's going to look like. And I usually do it the night before. I try to write, not every day, but I try to write what my day's going to look like the next day. That helps you with your clarity. Energy is generated. And if we don't learn the skills of generating energy, like I haven't been on social media in 3.5 years. And I quit drinking to repair my brain cells after a stroke. I didn't realize the energy that I was going to gain from it. But when you have the ability to generate your energy, like I get up at 3:30, 95% of the time. Well, 3:30 in the afternoon, after 12 hours, my energy level can be going down. Then I go on the porch and I connect with people. I call people. I talk to people. That helps generate another level of energy. And your energy can come from your clarity. Your energy can come from what you put in your body. Because if you don't think about how you fuel your body, you can find yourself in the McDonald's drive-through. Nothing against McDonald's, but I wouldn't put them high on my list of how I fuel my body. So think of energy as you are generating. The next is courage. This is something I struggled with for years. And when Clarity talked about her journey, I was like, that's me. I was a people pleaser. I was afraid to speak up. If you told me I had to speak in front of people, I'd tell you every excuse I could tell you because I was afraid if I said the wrong thing, but I was focusing on myself. not on where the message was going. And that courage of speaking up, asking a question. And sometimes it's a dumb question, but it's builds your courage. And the more you lean into courage, you gain confidence. And so as an entrepreneur, which we work with primarily, we have plenty of people that work for companies, but we want to have a mindset of an entrepreneur because we're getting into the most abundant world. And it's going to take courage to do the right thing when nobody's watching, courage to speak up, courage to step on the stage, courage to write that book, courage to have those difficult conversations. And the more you exercise that muscle, the more you develop a stronger courage muscle. Next is productivity. So productivity is a really strange one because we all have 24 hours. I would dare say that Elon Musk uses his 24 hours different than you and me. I've heard he has 5-minute meetings. Most can be an hour because we've always thought of them as being an hour. But what if you had to do the same amount in 5 minutes? You would figure it out. I do 3 days in one. I do 3 5-hour days. So I get 21 days in a week. Most get 7. And if you think about it, before electricity, we went to bed because we were looking at candlelight. So when it got dark, people went to bed. But now we got electricity, we got the internet, we have AI, we have a whole different world. But people still think of 24 hours the way it was 100 years ago. Think of it differently. Think of 3 days, 3 5-hour days. I have it right here. Here's my 3 5-hour days. I have a batch of 5 hours. Like a lot of people may practice 24. So think of your day today versus 100 years ago. You'll get more productivity. You'll batch your time. You'll look at outsourcing. The only thing I do is podcasting, create courses, and high performance coaching. That's it. I don't do all the other stuff. Can I do it? Like do this event? Yes, but I don't like it. But I don't have anybody to run it, so I got to do it. You got to just step up and do it. Sometimes it's not going to be perfect. It never is perfect. But if you make progress, you end up gaining better skills. And when you get better, repetition is the mother of learning. We're never good. The first time we rode a bike, we crashed, skinned our knee. In my case, I ran right into a mailbox. Opened my eyes, I had them closed. When I opened it up, I was looking at 1 inch from a mailbox. That I didn't do again, but I had plenty of times where I skinned my knee, but I got back on it to ride it. So the first time I did a podcast, it was awful. I'm forgetting things. I lost it. But after 450, you get a little bit better, and you keep getting better, and you keep getting better. The influence is a tougher one because that's earned. How to win friends and influence people. The reason George is so influential, he's done it thousands of times. People will trust him. That's influence. When he calls, they take his call. When he says he's going to do something, he does it. He keeps gaining influence in his community because of the way he runs his life. And if you have that mindset that your reputation is precious and that you do what you say you're going to do, you follow up when you say, it's okay if you don't call them back, but tell them, call them and say, look, I got busy, or text them. I told you I was going to contact you this afternoon and life gets in the way. You can always text. It takes a couple seconds. That's your reputation. And when you start making those deposits, your influence gains. And you can see the people that have influence in them in the world. When Elon Musk talks, people listen. They may not like him because he's changing the world, Same with Trump. You may not like him because he's changing the world. People don't like change, but they have influence. Okay, let me see if Jay is in the house. No. Oh, God. Technical difficulties are part of life. And that's just, we're doing a better job of doing a video so people can understand StreamYard. That's the platform I've used for 8 years. It's secondhand to me, but when somebody's using it for the first time, it probably is not. So there's a learning curve. But unless you lean into it and do it, you're not going to get any better. And going through the uncomfortable part of learning is the tough part, because we want to be good at something, but you can't be good at something unless you're messy at something, unless you fall on your face, make a fool of yourself. Whatever it is, you have to go through that messy middle to be able to get to a point where you start to master something. So, first couple podcasts, they were an absolute disaster. Did I quit? No, because I had a vision of what I wanted to do. For the first time in my life, I found something I really enjoyed. And then I started leaning into more and more and more of it. And after a while, I watched myself get better. But it didn't happen at first. It was messy. But if you get through the messy middle, you can get to a better place where you become more competent, that George talked about. When you're competent, because he did thousands and thousands of jobs. And by doing thousands and thousands of jobs, you learn to critical think, you learn to problem solve, and you learn the value of meaningful relationships. Because when George calls you, you answer the phone. When others, you can know whether you have influences when you call and they don't call you back. You probably think, well, they don't think much of your call. That's the way I do it. If somebody never calls me back, I have no influence with them. So that's how a good way to gauge your influence. All right. I think, let me see if Jay's in the house. Jay is not in the house. Doggone it. Jay's, he's a holistic, 40 years of holistic learning. And let me see if I can text him. If not, I'm backstage. He says he's backstage. I can't see him. Let me just send him a text. I can't see you. I'll send you another link and I'll talk for a few minutes. But I think they're tired of hearing me talk. They want to hear a holistic person. There we go. Okay. I'm going to send a email while we're doing something here. Oh, yeah. Okay. There we go. I'm going to send it to both his emails. That way we have a chance of getting Jay on our show. Okay, there we go. Dang, it's sent. It's traveling up to Virginia. Jay's in Virginia, Richmond, Virginia. That's where I'm from. And we went to the same high school. So we know each other from that. And we reconnected after 50 years at our 50th high school reunion. So I'm trying to find, let me get this off here. I'll give a pitch for the live event, but let me make sure. Okay. All right. So the live event, and I'm going to be looking out for Jay, and if we can get him on the line, great. If not, well, we'll work on the technology part. All right. Our live event is intended to bring people together to connect, to learn, and to create content. And that learning is learning to speak for 5 minutes, 3 points. Because if you take 3 5-minute presentations and you put them together, you got a TED Talk. So that's the kind of the Super Bowl of speaking, is doing a TED Talk. Christy Haas, who coached me for 12 weeks, did a TED Talk. So she knows the process and can teach that process because he's done it. But what we want to do here in Kennesaw is to have 100 of these live events around the country. So 100 people learning to be of influence, learning to perfect speaking from a platform, learning the 7-11-4, 7 hours of content, 11 buying signals, and 4 different platforms. And when you look at charity, a book is a platform. If you want to order my book, I have Reputation Matters on Amazon. I have a book on golf. I have a book on our system. And I just did a podcast with Jeff Bourgeois, who is an AI specialist. And we're going to take our community to the next level times 10, times 50, because that's how AI can leverage your time. The boring tasks can be put aside. Do what you love to do, and you get into the what I call the genius zone. I don't call it, but that's what a lot of people call it. And that's indeed what it is. When you do what you're gifted to do, it's like the wind's behind your sail, and you just have fun, you enjoy, and you just eliminate the stuff that we call it the stuff that drags you down. If you're going to fly a plane, there's 4 things. You got to get some momentum to get off the ground, but resistance is always there. The weight of your details are always there. So you got to constantly release the weight, the resistance. You got to be able to get in the flow, and you got to get momentum. The gas that gets you off the tarmac can be your habits, because you get up and you get in the flow. You got the fuel, you got the ability to fly like an eagle. So that's what we teach. All right, let me see if I can see Jay. I don't know where you are, brother. I'm signed on, and it says I'm backstage waiting for who can't see me? Nobody. Hey, we're going to work on this. I'll work with him privately, but I want to just wind down. I said about an hour, and because we do this for an hour and a half at our live events on Saturday, but because of just the things that go on, my team's on vacation, came off vacation last week, and just putting everything back, it's messy, and that's just life. But you still do it. You still get better. You still make progress. Oh, here we go. Dang. Okay. Dang. Jay is in the house. Okay. All right.
Gotta
Hold on.
respect me.
There we go. Dang. All right. Good to see you, brother.
Hey, good morning.
Man. I was telling
Got
people.
connected.
I know. I love it. I love it because I've been using this platform for 8 years. So I know how to do it. I don't know how to do it multitask. Oops. Hold on here. I'm trying to. Okay. Here we go. All right. So let me take this off. Okay. So I want to give you a proper introduction. Jay and I met at our 50th high school reunion. We went to the same high school, Benedictine, in Richmond, Virginia. So Jay is coming to us from Richmond, Virginia. And when we started talking, we saw a lot of similarities in our journey. I've been on kind of a holistic journey, not like Jay, but always being aware that there's a better way to get that body, mind, and spirit and maintain that balance, and being able to put good things in the body, because if you put good things in your body, good things come out. So Jay, Jay, if you spend 40 years doing something, you get better. And Jay is definitely better than 95% of us out there. So when Jay comes to you today and shares his journey of mastering body, mind, and spirit, think of somebody that's been spending 40 years that does this every single day and has done it for 40 years. So Jay, thanks so much. I'm going to jump off, and I thank you let me see, hold on here. One little thing. I'm going to make this bigger, and I'm going to bring you back. I'm going to get off.
You're gone. Welcome to the Holistic Path, Mastering Mind, Body, and Spirit. So, uh, as Pete said, I've been in the natural products industry for the last 40 years. And it's true. I know I've even have it on a button somewhere. You are what you eat. So that explains a lot of our health conditions. And so holistic lifestyle is balancing the body, mind, and spirit. So, you can't be sound in mind and body or mind and spirit if you're going to eat at McDonald's every day. I mean, that's just, um, you are what you eat. Um, and what you consume as far as your mind and spirit goes also. I mean, we become what we consume, for better or worse. I mean, it's really important to make us um, conscious, deliberate decisions. It's really easy to just go along with the mainstream. There are all sorts of things out there that are popular, but not necessarily very healthy for our overall lifestyle. Um, so taking control of your own health is vitally important. That's why I have studied quite a bit. I've got a bunch of reference books that I use daily. Not every day, but frequently. Over the years, I've assimilated a lot of the information in those books. So it's a step up. I'm not a doctor, but I do have a background in researching, especially specific topics, such as the symbology of disease. What does it mean that I got this condition, and what does it reflect on my lifestyle? So I know for me, uh, 10 years ago, I had really bad knees, and I had both of them replaced 3 months apart. But that was uh, not something to go into lightly, right? Um, and what happened was I looked up. I have a favorite little book, Louise Hay's "Heal Your Body," and in it she correlates conditions with thought forms and beliefs, and giving some affirmations to help counter what may be a negative mindset. And looking that up, the trouble with knees um, was difficulty moving forward in life. Some of you can relate to that. I was dealing with uh, really the death of three of my family members in separate incidents. Um, job difficulties, marriage difficulties. There was a lot. So having my knees replaced really helped me move forward because they were shot. Um, so it takes action to make things change, right? Um, and so here on this platform, I'm being an advocate for holistic living, for finding out how to feed your body in a way that it operates at top efficiency. Uh, well, the mind part really encompasses your emotional well-being as well as what you think in your head. Um, I know I've been guilty in my life of processing everything through my head and not down here in what I'm feeling. And so being in touch, especially as a man, with emotional well-being and just knowing what it is I'm feeling, has been a really a step up. I mean, I remember sitting in a group of men one time in a kind of a therapy group, and when the facilitator would ask us how we were feeling about something, everybody's head would turn and look at the chart on the wall of different feelings. We were all so disconnected. We needed that visual prompt to figure out what we were feeling, because um, people tend to get shut down. Often it's because of overwhelming life experiences, and also the examples that we're given as we're growing up of what the feelings are. That's not an easy thing. I call it emotional literacy, and it's not like we can escape. People do try to escape. There's several escape mechanisms, people, places, and things that we use to not feel, because it's scary. It can be overwhelming to feel those things that are submerged, that are unpleasant. But in order to heal, in order to move forward in life, we need to learn what those feelings are, and to get some help. I mean, asking for help is very human, and it's very important to move forward. So I'm a big advocate for therapy. Um, when it comes to the spirit part of body, mind, and spirit, I really advocate um, going out into nature. I mean, no matter what your religious belief is, I think that the divine force, God, there are many names for it, is most present out in a walk in the woods, along a body of water. I'm blessed here in Richmond to have a really good park system that is on both sides of the river throughout Richmond, the James River Park system. It's great for hiking and just for ease of daily life in the city, particularly. Anybody who's been through rush hour traffic can relate. I think to getting out and getting grounded in nature, because we're not separate from it. We're part of it, and it's an important part of our equilibrium, to get back to that, even if it's just watching your bird feeder, and hopefully uh, keeping up with that without the squirrels taking over. Anyway, that's the basis of what I'm doing. There are a lot more. There's a lot more to go into, but for this morning, that's me, and I
Awesome.
hope you
Thank you.
can
Thank you so much, Jay.
follow me.
Yep. Can you hear me? Yes, I can. Yeah. So thank you so much. 40 years of being in the
Yeah, I hear
trenches.
you.
Okay. 40 years of exercising holistic learning. We learn from the street, as I call it. It's like not from a textbook, but doing it. You've been doing it for years and years. And I want to encourage our viewers to lean into pk.me/JTub, and they can book a schedule a time to be able to, the course is coming out. So we want to help you to not do it in 40 years, but do it in 4 months. That way, you don't have to spend 40 years learning what Jay has learned. He can shorten the learning curve. So thank you so much. I know you have a busy schedule. Appreciate you coming on. Appreciate you sharing your holistic journey with us so we can gain knowledge and understanding of how to shorten that learning curve, because we only have one body. on body. And if we don't take care of it, then that's not a good situation, because we only get a chance to really affect our own bodies. So thank you so much, Jay. We appreciate you coming on and getting through the technology curve of getting on there. So thanks so much. Have a wonderful rest of the day. Okay, as we wind down, I just wanted to encourage you to go to pkane.me/live. Let me see if I can put it up here on the board. Yeah, I think I can. And there we go. There we go. Okay. Or you can connect with us at pkane.me/connect and follow us. Our live event is done once a month. Our next one will be October the 11th, because we've got a conflict with Fall Festival. So we are flexible enough to be able to do this again. So we appreciate your attention. Share this with people you want to know about what's going on, bringing you the best resources to have the best life you can possibly live, and be that key person of influence online, because the world changed. Now it's global. People can see this around the globe. So we create intentionally the content for people to get to know you, like you, and trust you. So thank you so much for being with us. Have a wonderful day, and be bold, make an impact, and have fun.